Hello, crypto world and Tezos enthusiasts. This is a short video tutorial on how to use the DeFi platform Kolibri. Kolibri is a stablecoin on the Tezos network, which uses collateralized debt positions known as ovens. Now, this isn't a video tutorial on the ins and outs of Kolibri, but more how to get started with baking your coins in an oven and using your kUSD stablecoin to purchase more Tezos on the Dexter decentralized exchange. So as a prerequisite, this assumes that you have a Temple wallet, previously known as Thanos. So you see here in the top right corner, it says connect a Thanos wallet. However, the project is now known as Temple Wallet. So if you look up Temple Wallet on the extension store, you should be able to find that. This is the homepage, which you access at kolibri.finance. And the first thing we'll want to do is go ahead and attach a wallet. So I'll click the connect button. Oh, I also want to make sure that I have some Tezos in that wallet to cover my gas fees. So right now I have approximately 100 USD, which is 25 Tezos at the time of making this video. I'll go ahead and connect my wallet, and it's as simple as that. Now my Temple wallet is connected to my Kolibri account here, and I have the option to create a new oven. Now, there are some important figures here across the board. For example, we see the number of active ovens currently being used on Kolibri. We also see the stability fee, which is kind of like the annual stability fee that is charged to each oven that keeps the price in line with the US dollar, and the collateral ratio, which is important because this shows you essentially the maximum amount that you can loan against your Tezos, as well as the price harbinger here, which updates every 15 or so minutes. I could be wrong. In any case, we'll create a new oven by clicking that button. And it says that we have to delegate a baker as well. Now, if you've used Tezos before or are familiar with the ecosystem, delegating a baker is how we stake our rewards. So you have the option to choose a stake, your own staker here, or your own baker, excuse me, here. However, it does automatically choose tessellated geometry for you if you have no choices of your own. If you want to choose your own Tezos delegator, you can head over to mytezosbaker.com to get information on different Tezos bakers. All you need to know about Tezos bakers. So if you don't want to use the default one, you can head over there and see a big list of different Tezos bakers that you can delegate your Tezos with. However, for our intents purposes, we'll just go ahead and delegate with tessellated geometry. Okay, it will ask me if I want to confirm the operation. I'll say yes. And there we have it. I now have an oven ready to receive Tezos. So that way I can use the Tezos as collateral for kUSD. So I'll click on deposit here, and I'll go ahead and deposit my Tezos. It says that I have 25.16 that I can, so I'll go ahead and deposit 25.6. Oh, actually, I don't think I can do exactly that much. You need a little bit for gas fees, so deposit 25. Tells me down here my new value is going to be $96.28. So I lost a couple dollars in translating from USD to Tezos and then getting it over here. However, I'm still dealing with a close amount. I'll confirm the transaction. Excellent. So now my oven has Tezos in it, and I'm able to borrow kUSD based off of my Tezos as collateral. So this is where the collateral ratio comes into effect. So essentially it's telling me I have to have over 200% to cover whatever amount that I'm borrowing. So that's why I chose a nice round number, close to 100, but it was supposed to be $100, but we lost a couple dollars for gas fees. In any case, that means that $50 at $100 would be 100% of the collateral debt ratio. So $100 would be 200% of that collateral debt ratio. So the maximum amount of money I would be able to mint at this time, or the maximum amount of kUSD, would be $48.14 kUSD here, since I have $96. We'll do max safe, which in this case will be 38.51057 kUSD. And it says here some information that I should keep in mind. My current collateral utilization is 0% now, but the new collateral utilization, which is how much I'm borrowing against, will be 80% of my total collateral at this amount here. And that means that when the price of XTZ, or if the price of Tezos drops to $3.08, then my oven will become liquidatable, which means that someone else can liquidate my oven for the amount of Tezos that I have as collateral. So we don't want that to happen. I actually usually keep my collateral ratio a little bit lower just to be safe. So I'll go $35 kUSD in this case. And now my new collateral utilization percentage is 72.7%. So I'll borrow the amount in kUSD. I'm borrowing 35 kUSD from my initial $96 that I made Tezos. We'll confirm the transaction here. Okay, so there we have it. It shows you here the collateral value of $96.28, which is equivalent to a balance of 25 Tezos. I borrowed 35 kUSD, and my stability fee is here. So now we have 35 kUSD tokens, and what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to Dexter, which is the decentralized exchange, and we're going to exchange these kUSD tokens for more Tezos. Okay, so now we'll hop over to Dexter, which is app.dexter.exchange, and we'll connect our wallet just like we did with Kolibri. We're using the Temple wallet here. So I'll go ahead and confirm my connection. Okay, and we are back on the Dexter now. It takes a minute or so for it to load, so I went ahead and cut that part out of the video. First thing we want to do when we get over to the Dexter is go ahead and switch it to dark. It's much more pleasant to look at. Now, I made the rookie mistake of transferring too much XTZ over at once, not leaving enough gas fees, so I had to go back to my Kolibri wallet and put a little bit more to cover my gas fees there, just brought my balance up to 0.5. So make sure that you do have at least, I would suggest, one Tezos, if possible, in your wallet to cover your gas fees to ensure that everything can transact correctly. But now I'll notice that since the wallets are connected, from the drop-down menu, we'll choose kUSD. It was already selected there for me. But now it shows my kUSD balance there as 35, which is great. And we'll want to exchange that for Tezos. We have a couple of other options here. However, for kUSD, I believe we can only choose Tezos at the moment. So I'll go ahead and hit max. And it says I can convert to 8 Tezos, which is great, but I'll do a little bit less so I have enough gas left over to cover the transaction. I have some information there. I'm exchanging 34 kUSD for a minimum of 7.78 Tezos to a maximum of 7.8 Tezos, with price slippage limitations listed there. Now, there is a pink elephant in the room. You might notice that the amount of Tezos that you receive for your kUSD here is slightly different than the amount of Tezos you'd receive for a US dollar if you were to go to a different exchange. And that is just due to the soft peg of kUSD to the US dollar and the price demand, supply and demand of the asset. So as more people come into the ecosystem, the price supply and demand curve should adjust and it should fluctuate closer to the value of the dollar. So we'll go ahead and exchange these kUSD for Tezos here. Okay. So now our exchange was successful, and gotta wait a minute, but the amount of Tezos that I now have exchanged for my kUSD will be updated. I ran into an error that it cut out, but that was because I set my exchange too high and I didn't have enough gas to cover the exchange. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So now we're done with the Dexter, and we can hop back over to Kolibri. And conveniently enough, since our wallet is already connected, our Tezos holdings are automatically updated there. So now what I can do is I can actually deposit the Tezos back into the wallet here. So 0.6. Lower it a little bit, and that tends to solve any issues that we have. If you're running into issues where your transactions are not completing, the culprit is probably that you're not leaving enough Tezos in the wallet to cover the gas fee, because every transaction on the network will require a little bit of gas, which is the Tezos. Great, and my balance is updated here. So I used my Tezos to mint kUSD, then sent that kUSD over to Dexter, and then on Dexter I was able to swap my kUSD for more Tezos, which I put back into my oven on Kolibri. And the benefit of this is just like with any other Tezos delegator, you are earning interest on the amount of Tezos that you're staking. So that amount of interest is actually going to lower your collateral utilization as well as your liquidable amount, or liquidatable amount, excuse me, which is kind of cool. So you can use that Tezos to mint kUSD and then get more Tezos in the meantime. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If it was, go ahead and give the video a like, and look for more tutorials for Tezos related things as the ecosystem evolves.